good afternoon. I'm so glad you could join me today. I've got a really special guest today, and I am so excited to introduce you to Santa's here. Yay! Hi, Santa.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
It's real nice to be here.
I'm so glad you could come.
Yeah, we haven't got snow on the ground yet, but it's coming.
No, it's coming. Is everybody working up there now? Oh,
working like crazy.
it's-
The elves are busy, and as it gets closer, they're getting busier.
busier and busier?
Busier. And there's so many kids want stuff, you got to get it for them.
Ooh, yeah, they got to make them, right?
Yeah, they make most of that stuff.
Oh, sure.
Sure, sometimes we get a little help from the outside. But
Do you? A little bit help?
Yeah.
So when did you start being Santa? I mean, from birth, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you were born Santa.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was born Santa.
So when you were a baby, did you have long hair when you were born? White hair?
Well, it wasn't quite when I was born. You got to wait a while to get it.
Oh, okay.
It comes with time.
Okay.
And after you got it, then I didn't always have this much either.
No.
I had a clean face for a
ya?
long time. Yes.
Did you?
Yeah, and it gets better. But I'll tell you what. People say, "How can you stand that long hair all the time?" Well, I'm in the shade in the summertime.
Oh, that's true. And in the wintertime, it's warm.
Well, it's warmth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never thought of it that way,
No,
did
I
you?
never thought of it that way before. No, that's
Yeah.
a good. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, it'd be shade.
People with a bare face look funny.
Oh, I bet they do to you.
Yeah. That's what they say to me.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
You belong to a Santa club.
Yes, I do. There's about 80 of us in it.
Yeah, 80 Santas.
Yes.
Wow.
And we're based in Colorado Springs. We work in almost every state and Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
And
Hawaii.
And Hawaii, yes. And it's a fun job.
It's a great organization, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We get together 3 times a year. We get together in Vegas is where we pick our Santas, and that's because it's easy to screen them in Vegas. And everybody can come to Vegas. It's a cheap trip. You know,
Right.
if somebody's wants to be, and everybody that's called isn't chosen. I
Right,
mean,
I'm
everybody that comes isn't chosen.
I'm sure it's very few that are chosen,
Yes,
probably.
we take maybe, through attrition we lose some,
Okay.
and then we'll take 3, 4, 5 a year.
How do they decide who will be a professional Santa?
Well, looks,
Yeah.
attitude,
Right.
and some people just don't have it. Some people, I've and some are in for an ulterior motive. They think they're going to get rich,
Oh.
and that's not the reason for being a Santa.
No.
If you want to get rich, go get a job.
Yeah, get a real job.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is like a real job. I was just saying a little while ago, the average Santa works about 42 days on a set a year.
Wow.
So, and it's usually from 10 in the morning till 9 at night. You
Yeah.
get a couple breaks in between.
Wow.
But and they figured the last year, a couple of years I was working, I asked the marketing director how many people I saw, and they figured 25,000 people a season.
Oh my goodness, a season.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures. I bet your eyes are flashing.
Yeah, but they're so much fun to go.
But all the fun, yeah.
Yeah,
All the little kids.
The little kids, if you could see the look in their eyes and some of the things that happen.
I bet there's what are some of the things that happen with the kids?
Okay, I had a little boy with Down syndrome. He come up and he says, "Santa," and his mother come running up. What do you say? What do you say? And I thought I did something wrong. He said, "Santa." She says, "That's the first sound he's uttered in 6 years."
Oh my goodness sakes! Isn't that wonderful?
I had a girl that They brought her up in a wheelchair, and her father introduced himself as a doctor,
Yeah.
and that she'd been sick. They were afraid they were going to lose her.
Oh.
And she's getting a little better, and someday we're hoping she can walk again. And as he said that, she climbed out of her chair. She was about as far from me to you. She climbed out of her chair and up into my lap.
Oh.
Mother was there. She started
I'd
crying.
be crying.
Daddy started crying. Santa started crying.
Oh, yeah, I
My
bet.
photographer started crying. All sitting up there babbling.
Oh.
But I contend you got to learn to cry hard before you can laugh hard.
Oh, I believe that's probably very
So,
true. I
yeah,
never thought about that.
And there's other
that's probably
things
very
that, you know, cute things that happen too. I was
Just
telling-
tell me some of the things that happen with the kids.
Okay, one of the things that stands out is a little Jewish boy. I said, "What do you want for Christmas?" Well, very sincere. I don't believe in Christmas and I don't believe in Santa. You see, I'm Jewish. But my grandma says you're a good friend of the Hanukkah man, so here's what I want.
Here's my list.
Yeah.
How cute was that?
And he,
That's cute.
you got to laugh at that stuff.
Yeah, you do. You
And I
must.
asked my Jewish friend, I said, I haven't heard of the Hanukkah man before. He said, neither have I. But
That
he
little
said
boy.
he's got a good grandma.
Yes, smart grandma.
Yeah.
That was
And,
cute.
There's other things like that. I said, one kid, what would you like for Christmas? Well, I don't need much, but he thought for a minute. Said, you know, my timeout chair is getting awful rickety. I could stand a new one.
Oh, my timeout chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the timeout chair
Yeah.
too much.
And
That's cute.
one kid said, I said, what do you want? I want a manure spreader. And he jumped, I want my own manure spreader. And he jumped off my lap and away he went.
He did?
That's what he
said. I want a manure
I
spreader.
want my own manure spreader.
my own manure spreader.
Yeah. And he jumped off
That
my
was
lap.
funny. Wouldn't you just imagine what he was thinking?
Yeah. But there's a sad side too.
Yeah.
I had a little girl, beautiful little girl. I said, what do you want for Christmas, honey? She hung her head. I would like a friend. And I said, oh my, as pretty as you are, you must have all kinds of friends. No, you see, my mother started smoking that stuff again and they took me away. And they called it a victimless crime? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Oh.
So I always say if there's any mothers that are doing that stuff, think of your little ones.
Yeah, think of the little kids.
I had a little girl tell me, you know what, Santa? I said, what? Last night after I went to bed, Mommy and Daddy were playing in the shower. And I said, well, Mother probably needed her back washed. She said, that's what Daddy said.
Ah, that's cute. That's
So,
adorable.
There's others.
So many stories, I bet.
Yeah, I could just go like that for hours.
Well, tell me about how do they when they go to Vegas and they say, let's say, a bunch of men go to Vegas and want to be Santa Clauses.
Okay.
Okay. Do they have to grow their own hair? Do they have
Oh,
wigs that they
no,
use?
No, all our Santas have to be natural. We're called naturally Santa.
They're naturally Santas.
And everybody got to have their own hair and their
Right.
own. And
Okay.
some of them will dye them a little bit. This is
Right.
all natural,
Oh,
but
sure.
some of them have get
Darker.
a little darker
Yeah.
spot.
So they'll dye it. Well, that's normal.
Yeah,
That's natural.
We've got one we call Skunk Boy.
Yeah, he's got black and white.
Yeah, but
Skunk boy.
he gets his hair bleached out every year, and then
Yeah.
you can't tell the difference.
Yeah. So what kind of? I mean, in other words, I know there has to be standards and stuff that
Yes.
they go by. So,
So
tell
we,
me how they proceed to do that.
Okay, they get up and they give a 5-minute talk, and they photograph it, why they want to be Santa. And then that night, we all go out to dinner. Well, you'd be surprised how some people think that
Party down.
they're in Vegas, let's have a party.
Yep.
Well, then they choose the ones that they think look good, and then the next day they'll say, was this guy sitting with you last night? Yeah. What'd you think? Well, he wasn't really the material that you want. Or he seemed like a nice person for it.
Right, right.
And you see, all our Santas have to pass a 7-year federal background check every year.
Thank God. That's good.
And so if you got nothing to worry about, you got nothing to worry about.
Sure.
But it gets rid of, you'd be surprised,
Yeah.
there's people that when we tell them that, they just back away from us.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some abusers out there.
Yeah.
Pedophiles and whatever else, I'm sure. And that's what you have to be careful of.
Well, you have to be careful. But I said,
But I'm glad they do a federal check of them.
yeah, we used to do just a local check with our
Yeah.
sheriff, and it wasn't one of our Santas, but I don't know where it happened. But this guy was a pedophile,
Yep.
and they got rid of him, and he just moved over 2 states,
Oh, Lord, no.
and his wife blew the whistle on him. But so then it's all federal.
Good, good.
And-
That's good. That's a plus
Yes,
because then
yeah.
you know that they're
Yes, so that
legitimate,
legitimate.
Santas.
So all our Santas are clean,
Yes,
and
clean cut.
the way our organization started, a woman took her children to see Santa, and he smelled like booze and cigarette smoke.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, someday I'll have a whole stable full of Santas, and there'll be no cigarette smoke or no booze. So we have to have Santas that our Santas don't drink or smoke,
Right, good.
and we're all natural. So
Well, you wouldn't want to get up on Santa's lap and smell a bunch of stinking smoke and a
well,
bunch of booze.
you'd be surprised when the kids get up on your lap. You
Yeah.
can tell the ones whose parents smoke, especially
Well,
when
yeah,
they're
you could smell it on their clothes,
Yeah,
the children's
yeah,
clothes. Yeah. I smoked for 52 years as I choke. No. And I quit. It's been 10 years now,
I
and I'm good.
I smoked. I haven't smoked in over 20 years.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, you did it when you were young.
yeah, well, actually, you know, when I was in the service, they gave you cigarettes.
Oh, sure they did. Yeah, here, have a smoke.
And
Relax you.
when I was overseas, I bought cigarettes for 30 cents a carton.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Boy, that was cheap, dirt cheap.
$3 a pack.
They're like, no, they're $5 a pack now.
They were 3 cents a pack.
Can you imagine? They're $5 a pack now.
Well, I couldn't afford it now.
Oh, I couldn't either. I couldn't even think about it. I bet you were excited about going out there on the first time and
Well, I was
sitting
scared
down.
stiff.
You scared stiff. I
Yeah.
bet you were.
I'll tell you what, after I retired from a regular job,
Yeah.
and I had been dealing with the public, and at that time, facial hair wasn't as accepted as it is today. And so after I retired, I told my wife, I think I'm going to see if I can grow a beard.
Yeah.
And it got about that long,
Yeah.
and my friend came up with a carload of toys, and the Casey's or the Masons, the Elks, somebody
yeah,
took up a collection
Right?
for this stuff. He had a suit that fit like long red underwear,
Yeah.
because I'm a fairly big person.
Right. You're not a small man. You're a
Yeah.
nice, tall man.
And so anyhow, I did that. We went out in the country and did it. And I was just as nervous as the kids that I went to see.
You probably were.
I was probably more nervous than they
than
were.
they were.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you went into somebody's house
I
with
went
these
into
gifts?
somebody's house with
Oh,
gifts
how
and-
sweet. And they must have just cried.
gifts and groceries and stuff
Oh,
like that.
how sweet.
Well, they were happy, but I was scared.
Yeah.
But I didn't show it.
No.
Anyhow, a motorcycle club heard about it, and
Oh, how fun.
that was quite a while ago because that was one of the first parties I did, and some of those kids are grown people today. In fact, I met one here
They
not
still
long ago.
remember
Oh
ya.
yeah, I friend with their parents, and,
Right.
and they said I met one of the kids, and they're stand head and shoulders above their mother now.
Oh, sure.
But I did that, and then it just kept growing and growing, and I was doing.
You got big and popular. You were all over the place.
Yes,
You were
I
in
was doing-
TV. I mean, you were in. I seen some of your papers. You were in magazines and everything.
Yeah.